I have an article coming out in Now Lebanon tomorrow titled Agency, Not Surrender. If you get the chance, read it. It'll expand on this episode, which is only about registering to vote. It is essential to register. If you're abroad and you haven't registered, you have 10 days left. And the importance of these elections, I've said it many times in my own limited way, that our problem is geopolitical. And we need a solution to Iran's army in Lebanon. That should not discredit reformers or civil society members or activists that are deciding to put on their politician cap and run for elections next year. We need new faces. We need fresh ideas. And even if their power is small, even if their leverage is limited, I think any small steps in the right direction today, they're vital. So we cannot simply wait for geopolitical trends to improve in our favor. I think we need to make sure that we're always at least trying to find solutions there and messaging that clearly to anyone that has that leverage abroad. So putting Lebanon's case on the table is, I think, an existential battle for us. But on the local level, wherever you have any capability to reform, I think reformers should be celebrated. Whether they're from October 17 parties that are running next year, or from the regime, the usual political parties that we bash on a daily basis. If there are reform-minded individuals among them, we should celebrate that as well, because that's how political parties get better in this country. So, reform-minded individuals, wherever they come from, they should be in parliament next year. Whether it's several names, whether it's a dozen names, whether it's a sizable minority, a sizable opposition, maybe one day will reemerge as the majority. It could happen. It may not happen next year. It may take longer. But regardless, this is how you plant that seed. And I think it is essential to have the right people in power when any window of opportunity emerges. And again, it'll be discussed further in tomorrow's piece in Now Lebanon. So I'm going to go through step by step how to register. From my understanding, over 100,000 Lebanese abroad have registered. So this is a record number. I think my sense is that doubling that figure is the goal, or even more. So I want to keep it very simple. So all the steps will be embedded in the video and also listed in the details box to this episode. So I'm keeping it simple. The deadline is November 20, 10 days at midnight Beirut time. So that would be 5 p.m. East Coast in America, and you do the math wherever you are across the world. But midnight Beirut, November 20th. Now the details on how to register, they will be listed in the details box to this episode, embedded as well in the video. It's very straightforward. I'll just skim through the basics right here. There's a website that you need to go to. It's diasporavote.mfa.gov.lb. And when you fill in your basic details and click submit, you get a validation email. From there, you choose the language. And from my understanding, in addition to English and Arabic, there's the opportunity to do this in French, in Portuguese, and in Spanish. So you then have to upload documents, a scanned copy of either your Lebanese ID, front and back, your passport, or your civil status extract, your ikhraj ed. Never saw it in English. And you can upload 2 just to be extra safe. So one of those 3, Lebanese ID, passport, or your civil status extract, your ikhraj ed. You then have to upload a scanned copy of either your residence permit with your foreign ID card, or your foreign passport, or your Lebanese passport with your residency stamp in it. And you have the option as well to upload 2 documents. And from there you add your Lebanese district number, your Lebanese district registry number. And once you're done with that, you click submit and you're done. Your registration is complete. You will receive an email confirming whether your registration was successful or if more information is required. This can take up to a week. So if you have the next 3 days, if you have a window of time to register, please do so. And if you don't receive an email, check with your embassy or consulate. And there's a note here that the ministry's website is slow. So if it's not working on Safari, try Chrome, try if you're still using Firefox. And that's it. So it takes a few minutes. And there's this whole discussion of whether or not to register if you're planning to visit Lebanon during the elections. If you are 100% sure that you're visiting this country during the elections, whether they're in March as predicted or they revert back to May, which is unlikely, but it could happen. If you are 100% sure you're visiting this country for the elections, do not register. You can vote here in person. You cannot register abroad and then vote here in person. You cannot have it both ways, unfortunately. So that's only if you're 100% sure, committed to visiting this country during the elections. Otherwise, register on the website and get ready to vote next year. I've done many episodes regarding the upcoming elections with October 17 parties, October 17 activists, most recently with Hussein Achi from Minteshreen, and I've had the chance to speak to Laury from Kataeb, Laury Haytayan. I've spoken to many people, even Samy Gemayel from Kataeb. Whether you consider him October 17 or not, that's another issue. But the episodes are available in the podcast if you want to get a better feel for the candidates, and there will be more coming. And also, I've done 2 episodes with 2 members of Kulluna Irada. The managing director, who is Diana Menhem, I did an episode not too long ago with her about all that is Kulluna Irada, what the NGO stands for, and what they're doing in terms of preparation for next year's elections. So all their activities are discussed in that episode, as well as the current chairman of Kulluna Irada, Kostanian. That episode goes back a few months ago. I recorded it, I think it was perhaps weeks or maybe even days after he joined Kulluna Irada. It was a short period after him joining the NGO. So if you want to know more about him, the current chairman of Kulluna Irada, check out that episode. It'll be embedded in the episode, in this episode. And Kulluna Irada has a call center. So if you have any questions, if this wasn't simple enough, if I did not do my job in showing you the steps on how to register, you can call Kulluna Irada on their hotline. There's a WhatsApp number. It's an international accessible number. It'll be embedded here. And there's a North America hotline as well, specific to North America. So both numbers you can call. I'll embed them. Anyway, local elections, whatever maneuvering space is available for any member of parliament, I think, yes, take advantage of this opportunity and cast your vote. And try to have decent people in parliament. And also anyone with leverage in this country. And speaking with Iran, help us end this geopolitical nightmare. Because you want reformers to have agency, and you want agency in parliament to make structural changes so that this country does not die. Both are fundamental And I don't think they are necessarily contradictive. I think they complement each other. On that note, thank you.